were yesterday.
That's wonderful.
I had the same sentiment about 3 days in.
That is awesome. Well, I think I made one of my favorite meals tonight. I told you, I sent you the email, the tomato bisque soup, Ted, right?
Yep. Right.
And I literally made that twice because it was one of Steve's favorites. But tonight, man, I like the coconut aminos, fresh ginger, sriracha sauce. It was kind of an Asian. I did squash, like zucchini zoodles, and then I did ribbon yellow squash with like my carrot peeler. And I sauteed like broccoli, red onion, what else? Peppers.
It was yummy.
It was so good. It was like, wow, really, really good. So, it's fun to find these things that I'm going to continue to repeat.
It reminds me of when I was in college. I managed a restaurant called Hobie's. It was based out of the Bay Area. And about half the items were vegetarian. And this is in early 90s when maybe it wasn't as cool, but in the Central Coast of California, it was cool. And we'd have these earthy people come in. And I'd always think, gosh, these vegetarians look so unhealthy. And this week I started thinking, going, what if I did this forever? Would I look like them too? But I'd have to add more protein elements, like legumes and things like that. But I felt great this week. So
yeah. I know Ted and Lacey, you guys have 2 more days, but I at least wanted to invite you guys on because we've been consistently a part of this journey. And then Kristen, that's on tonight, is finishing with us tonight. So what would you guys say was your fears maybe jumping into this 7 days ago or 5 days ago? What were you hesitant or nervous about doing the 7-day cleanse?
You want me to go first? Sorry.
I was just going to say, I was just generally nervous that I would be unsatisfied and very hungry and just unable to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kristen, what would you say?
Yeah, for me, I've done a cleanse before, and the first 2 or 3 days, I felt like I had the flu. I could not even function. I was such a mess. So I was afraid that was going to happen again this time, but it didn't. I just had a headache, you remember, the first 2 days, and finally broke down and took something for it. And then after that, I felt so much better. But the fact that I could eat as much as I wanted, like I ate a whole bag of snap peas. I mean, I just devoured the vegetables. I don't know if that was part of the program, but I just ate a ton of them.
No.
And that was the only thing that made me feel satiated, was volume, not necessarily what it was, other than mushrooms and avocados were awesome because they made you feel more full. But
right. Yeah. And I mean, I too, I really was wondering, can I really go 7 days without protein? I mean, in our house, with growing boys and athletes and working out, I have protein multiple times a day. And so I was like, can I really do it? So I was honestly shocked that I think I had a bite of Jimmy Dean sausages tonight because I made my kids like these really yummy potato Jimmy Dean sausage burritos, and I had my spiralized pasta, like veggie pasta dish. But I went 7 days without protein, and I feel great. And so I really was super surprised and shocked that I could do it.
But how did you feel when you were working out though? Because I did feel weaker and a little more tired, like especially at 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Yeah. Like, oh man, what can I do to pump myself up? And I thought of you in fitness all the time. Did you feel tired?
Well, and that's why I thought I started logging, and I wrote you guys that email of like the time that I ate what. I think 2 times I worked out at 12:30, and then the rest of the times it was like 8:30, 9:30. But I think on 2 of those times I had one of those unsweetened applesauce pouches, like right as I was driving to the gym. And then Shackley has these little energy chews, like a tiny little chew. And I had one of those right before I worked out. But I mean, I told Steve I felt great. I was really impressed. Like I didn't lose any strength. I really thought my muscles were going to atrophy in a week. So,
I didn't work out. I got a head cold about
so we had different
4 days in.
Oh, that stinks.
And so as of Day 6, I took a NyQuil. Last night I took a NyQuil because I couldn't sleep at night. My head was just completely congested. But throughout the day I was fine. But I didn't work out this past week.
So we did it very differently. And that's the beauty of it. Like you find your rhythm, and this was the first time we've done the 7 days. Like this is something I would suggest and recommend maybe once or twice a year, not something every other month. Maybe you can, come back from a week of vacation or whatnot and go, hey, for 3 days, I'm going to really eat clean. And now you know what that means. You know what that feels like. You know how to do that. And I feel like that's the beauty of this. But the 7 days, I think it's a great time to do again before the summer hits, when we want to kind of like restart and look good in our shorts and sleeveless shirts or whatever. And get ready for the summer season.
Ted, are you on tonight, Ted?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Did you have, I know I heard Lisa's fears. What were some of your fears going into it? Was that the same?
Yeah, one of them was the same. I had 2 fears. I think one of them was, the fear of being hungry and not getting enough food. The other one was kind of worried about how good the food would be,
Yeah.
And to my surprise, Lisa's done an outstanding job of just making some really good dinners and lunches and salads and soups, and just, it's been really good food. And sometimes I was really, really hungry, so like anything would taste hungry or good, but other times I wasn't hungry and it still tasted delicious. So my surprise was to how good clean eating could be in terms of the taste.
Yeah.
I agree.
Awesome.
I agree. Day 1 for us is because we just arrived and we didn't really have that much food. It was like I gnawed on raw broccoli and tomatoes, and I was like, carrots. And I did have more Cuties oranges this week than I've
Totally. I ate almost a whole bag of Cuties oranges.
Needed about 3 ones a day, or maybe 2 in the morning and then 3 at work, just for the kind of the carb kick to keep me going.
Yeah.
And it helped. It was better than coffee. I had a cup of coffee or a mug every morning, but I usually have 3 or 4 a day of large, massive black coffees. And so I didn't miss that. If I was doing this for weight loss, I would probably have not had so much fruit and carbs, but it was a great energy booster for me, and it felt healthy. And then day 2 kicked in, and Christine started cooking these amazing. Our first one was like a veggie stew, but my favorite was the tomato bisque. Again, we had it last night. She made so much, I had it again for lunch today. And that's a game changer. So I'm like you, Ted. I was like, I can't just do veggies and fruit. And there's one morning I just took a head of romaine lettuce on the way to work, and I'm not so bad.
That's funny.
Well,
The sweet potato hash too saved me. Stirring that up because I put it in salads. I ate it for breakfast like a side. I ate it for dinner. That was my game changer.
That's awesome. Well, I would say, what habits were you surprised that you are going to stay with? And maybe what are a couple of habits or one thing that you know what? After 7 days, I don't really need this in my diet like I thought I did. Does anything come to mind?
For me, it's how surprisingly well the morning smoothie keeps me full all the way up to and through lunch. I mean, today was a good example. My Monday mornings are hectic with meetings up until noon, and I didn't have my lunch until 1:30 today, and I was not starving.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah.
I have to tell you, though, that I found kind of a superfood smoothie mix at Sprouts.
Uh-huh.
And it's made out of, it's vegan, and it's probably not on, it's probably not officially on the plan, but it has a fair amount of protein in it from, like, I think it's brown rice and some other it's not dairy, obviously, but anyway, it's got like flaxseed and chia seed powder and stuff like that. So it's really healthy for us. But it was a little bit of a cheat, but we added that to our smoothies in the morning. And I think that protein helped get Ted through his day.
Yeah. And I would say that is my go-to. I'm anxious to put my regular smoothies back in order. I mean, I really do. They do satiate you and can be truly a meal replacement with the right combo of carbs and that protein, fiber that satiates and that really slows down the sugar getting into your bloodstream. So yeah, that's excellent.
Kristen, what about you? Any habits or breaking habits?
I mean, my big goal for this whole thing was to cut down on sugar. I know gut health is brain health, and, you know, my family's history. And so I really wanted to focus on not having the habit. I eat chocolate every single day of my life. And I wanted to say, can I do this for 7 days without it? And being able to find oranges and the heated up banana apple thing with cinnamon.
That's right.
You know, the stuff that saved me, that's better sugar for you. It's still sugar, but it's not chocolate and junk, is what I'm going to try to keep up. I mean, that's the habit I really, really wanted to kick. I'm certainly going to reintroduce protein. I'm thinking about, though, keeping out gluten and keeping out dairy just to see, you know, how long, because you do feel better. I mean, my stomach always hurts from something. And that was the beauty of this whole thing too, was I didn't have a stomach ache from anything other than hunger, which I could solve right away for almost everything, except when I went crazy on like cauliflower, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts, like all at the same time. Can't do that.
Yeah, and
that's the trifecta.
Yeah. And that was a couple of the texts that I'll know now going into, as because I've got one new person start a day, 4 people starting next Monday. So it's a good, doing this myself, it really gives me an opportunity to say, okay, I really experienced it. Like I really know what I'm talking about now, which is helpful.
And one of the habits for me, I'm with you, Kristen. When I stopped drinking, yesterday was 90 days. Today's 91. And I went for sugar. And I was like, yes, no alcohol, but the second drug was sugar.
Bring on the sugar.
And so this past week, because I'm like, you know, chocolate or something junk food I crave virtually every night. And that's going to be the one I really want to see go away. And then coming home, oftentimes I come home from work, and as dinner was being prepared or as dinner was being made, I would hit chips and salsa. And I would just carb load in like 30 chips. And I go, that's something I don't have to do. I can eat, if I'm going to go carbs and I need that extra kick, then I'm going to go to an orange or an apple. But I'm blown away by how the vegetables are helping curb that, oh my gosh, I have to have something in my body. And so there's a couple of habits I'm looking forward to then working on my macros and working on a more balanced. I'm going, okay, I'm going to focus on clean proteins. And yes, I'm still going to eat carbs, and I'm going to eat, I probably should focus on eating more fats, to be honest. And just kind of work on a balance, because I can tell the last year my balance of I'm way carb heavy. It's a Van Diest curse.
Me too, for sure. Although I have to tell you, tomorrow's my celebration, and I have a cauliflower crust pizza waiting in my freezer.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I've had those. Those are good.
Pizza is like my all-time downfall, but it's the dough. So I'm trying to find alternatives to put it on non-bread or gluten-free crust or something. But I'm going to try the cauliflower.
There was one at Costco a while back we tried that we actually liked.
Yeah. Cauliflower.
Yeah, and you guys have a pizza place, but no, not by you. There's one in Highlands Ranch, and they have Pieology, and they have the best cauliflower crust I've ever tasted. So that's my new thing. I'm in search of the excellent cauliflower.
Well, and I'm anxious and I might even have one tonight. I might just be honest. With 3 days ago, we had a friend bring over like homemade gluten-free, like almond coconut flour, like cherry chocolate cookies, and this like paleo scone. And I'm like, oh, so I had like a tiny morsel like 3 days ago. And I put my servings in a baggie and I put my name on it in the fridge and like, don't anybody touch this. I'm eating.
That's right. But proud of you that you could resist it for 3 days and wait. Like I didn't think I was going to have that kind of willpower. Mm-hmm. I didn't eat anything. I had a bite of chicken to test if it was good for my kids, but I didn't do anything. So I'm impressed that you could hold off. I'm the same way. I have scones sitting on the counter and like, but didn't do it.
Did you guys see any weight loss? I know that's not the goal because we would have probably tweaked it a little bit different and added protein. But did anybody see any weight loss?
Ted and I both have had some weight loss.
Yeah, I lost 2 pounds each of the first 2 days, and then I lost a pound the third day, and then I've stabilized this day.
Okay.
On day 3, though, that's amazing.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve and I probably came back from being vacation a little bloated, and obviously with travel it's bloated. So our numbers are probably skewed because of we've literally started at our heaviest, and
I'm about 10.5 pounds off.
And I was 8.8.
Get out of here! 10 pounds?
10 pounds for him, and 8.5. I think I lost 5 pounds the first day.
Yeah,
because that was heavy bloat. That was travel.
I'm probably pre-vacation, pre-Christmas. I'm probably 4 pounds, so a good, just healthy. I feel leaner. I feel tighter. But that wasn't my concern. Now I want to go. Okay, I create some healthy habits. And you guys might know this. They always say it's probably some false fact, but how many days does it take to create a habit? Is it 30 or
21?
There you go.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
All right.
That's going to be my sugar goal.
Yeah, I need to stay on it too. I'll text you and see how we're doing in a week.
Well, and I will send you an email after we get off this. I'll send you guys an email of how to segue into regular eating. There's a link that I've sent before to some people. I will. And also my go-tos of I know, Lisa, you mentioned like a protein. If you don't have a good protein, or even just how do I stay satiated and how do I choose some really healthy things to keep moving forward? I'll send that as well with a couple of links, just so you guys can see it on your email. And then lastly, I wanted to say, I've had a couple other people just from different things I've posted. There's interest out there. So my challenge to you is you probably can think of a couple of people that this would really be a good experience for them, a really good healthy segue into healthier eating. We all have friends or family members or someone that this might be really a great experience for them, a journey. So
yeah, and so in another challenge, or not a challenge, but drop a little seed in your mind. In 2015, I started Shaklee's kind of turnaround kit with their meal plan, their shakes, their bars, their snack teas, and I lost about 25 pounds. And it was not just like this water vacation. It was one of the best I felt. I took in all my pants, got what do you call them? Hemmed. Is that what you call it? Sewed? Yeah.
Taken in.
Tailored.
Taken in at the waist.
Yeah. I literally lost probably 2 to 3 inches, and I leaned up. It was the year Shaklee sent us to Mexico, and I'd never felt better, probably in my adulthood, with my body and how I felt. And so if you're thinking now, because you've seen such great success, if you're thinking maybe in this winter quarter, the last part of winter, I want to have a clear weight loss plan. I know, Kristen, you've tried our shakes before, and that's part of it. But there's a full kind of program. It's about 3 months. I think I did it for 2.5 months, and then we went on vacation, and I felt great. And it was one of my very similar fears that I went into the 7-day cleanse is when I went into that 3-month deal. I said, I'm going to try this, and it worked. And so if you're interested, let us know.
Yeah. I'll just put that in the email. You guys can click on and check it out. So
yeah, I had one more question for you. I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I was afraid you might be signing off. And I think they talked about this in the Facebook group, but what do you recommend tomorrow specifically, like to ease back into this so you don't just explode your system? I mean, obviously I'm not going to go whole hog, but I mean, I was thinking of having eggs for breakfast, and I'm super excited about having a piece of chicken for dinner, but maybe not go too far the other way, because I think your stomach would just like revolt.
Right. I think that's very, very wise. Adding a little bit of like whether it's fish, chicken, salmon, they would say stay away from like a spicy calzone or cheesy hamburger, those kind of things, French fries. I think anything fast food fried, that's what you'd want to avoid right now, because your stomach is probably going to go, I don't know what to do with this.
And probably quantities, like getting a Chipotle clean salad bowl, those portions are too big. Yeah. And so being wise, I think chicken's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think eggs are pretty reasonable as well. Yeah. Maybe not, if it sounds like you're going to try to stay away from dairy, but avoiding maybe some of the creamier, heavier
Yeah.
things like that. Cheeses, which I love. I miss them, but I don't know if I'll try to enter them back.
Yeah, a cheeseburger just sounds horrible, doesn't it?
Right.
Like I don't even think my system could handle it at the moment.
And like I mentioned, I think the last time, one of the gals that finished January 7th, she texted me 2 days later and said, "Why does my potato chip and my turkey taste like cardboard?" And that's when I said, well, that's the difference of healthy whole food to processed food. So I think the more processed food you're going to have, your body doesn't know what to do with it because you've been so clean and not processed. So that's probably the biggest thing of all the packages and the things that are just, modified, processed. Your body might revolt a little bit.
Yeah. I have a brown rice bowl that has some other stuff in it, but it has sriracha sauce, which you mentioned that before.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I put in my dressing tonight for the thing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is cream based. I got to look at the ingredients and see. Yeah. And remind me, what did you put in your bisque to make it creamy? Coconut milk?
No, nothing.
It was awesome.
I caramelized peppers, onions, tomatoes. I put garlic, scallions, and I put it in the oven and with a little olive oil and caramelized it. And then in the meantime, I sauteed in the bowl, like I think it was, maybe that was the garlic with a little olive oil, tomato paste, then added some vegetable broth, and then put that caramelized stuff back in with even some more stewed tomatoes, salt, pepper. I mean, it was, and then I put it in my Vitamix and you can do an immersion, but I think it was better in my Vitamix and then blended it. And it was like, almost cold. It seemed it could have been like gazpacho if I diced, cucumber and something else.
Yeah.
A really good gazpacho, but it was hearty and really yummy.
I hope it's a repeat.
Yeah, it will be because I did it twice now.
I think she's inviting us over for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I will.
We should.
Yeah.
Ted and Lisa, do you have any questions for your last 2 days or re-entry into normal world?
Yeah, I think it's just looking forward to getting some recommendations from you guys as to how to transition. That's going to be the key for us because obviously we don't, invest all this time and effort in doing a really good job and then just blow it,
Right.
Excellent. We'll be looking forward to your recipes and suggestions on how to do that transition to maintain those healthy choices.
Okay.
I'm going to get you for Friday morning's meeting, Ted, just a big old dozen of Krispy Kremes to help.
All right. You better not.
I'll eat it before they get there. That's the problem.
I know. But I will do that. When I get off tonight, I will email those specific things to you guys. And it's been a fun journey. This has been super enjoyable. So I am very excited that you guys joined in. And feel free to reach out. And I'm here to help you continue on your journey. And if you like to try anything, otherwise, let me know and I'll get you hooked up. So
proud of you guys. Good job.
Yeah, excellent. And so be on the lookout for my email, but otherwise we'll stay in touch. Good job. Very proud of you guys.